Hello, welcome again to Story Starters. Today I will be reading a book called Sister Magic, The Trouble with Violet by Anne Mazer. The books that I read in Story Starters are geared toward younger children, ages roughly 4 to 8. These are ones that have a nice, gentle storyline and are also, they might be easier to read for early readers. That's the book that I am introducing today. There's a series called Sister Magic, and these will be for once a child starts to read, then this would be one that would be a good one to pick if they are into these sorts of things. Sister Magic, The Trouble with Violet by Anne Mazer. Mabel and Violet were as different as two sisters could be. They didn't look alike, they didn't think alike, they didn't play alike, they didn't act alike. Sometimes they didn't even like each other. At the end of the day, one day at the end of the summer, a package arrived. It was addressed to both Mabel and Violet. The package was wrapped in shiny white paper and sealed with packing tape. It was square and heavy. Mabel didn't recognize the return address, and she brought it inside. There is the picture of the package. Violet jumped up and down with excitement. "What is it? Who sent it?" "I don't have X-ray vision," Mabel said a little crossly. "Calm down, Violet." But she also wondered who had sent it and why. It wasn't anyone's birthday. It wasn't even a holiday. Was it something they needed for school? She opened the package. It was an old-fashioned fairy tale book. On the inside of the cover was an inscription in glittery silver ink that said, "To my dear nieces, Mabel and Violet." It was signed, Uncle Vartan. Mabel and Violet received cards and birthday presents from Uncle Vartan every year, but they had never met him in person. Mabel imagined him as a thin old man with a long white beard who drank tea and kept cats. Mabel examined the book. It had thick, creamy pages, fancy lettering, and pictures you could practically walk into. It even had its own bookmark in deep crimson velvet. It was the most beautiful book that Mabel had ever seen. "My turn," Violet cried. "Let me see it." Mabel looked at Violet. She had jam on her face. She had jam on her hands. She even had jam in her hair. There was no way that Mabel was going to share this book with her, even though it was even though it was Violet's book too. Mabel took the book into her room. Violet followed her. "Can I have the book now?" she asked. "Not if you're going to ruin it." "I won't." Violet reached for it with a sticky hand. "I'll take good care of it." "The way you took care of my doll?" Mabel demanded. Violet had given the doll a spiked haircut. She had colored its lips bright green for spring, and she had written on the doll's arm and said it was a tattoo. "I'll be very, very, very careful when I read the book," Violet said. "I promise." "Oh, yeah," Mabel said. Violet made promises all the time. She broke them whenever she felt like it. "I'll even clean my hands first." Violet wiped her hands on the side of her t-shirt, then rubbed at the dirt on her elbows. "See?" "See what?" Mabel asked. She wrapped her arms around the book. "Please, Mabel," Violet begged. Mabel looked at Violet. Her little sister was way too immature to appreciate a book like this. What had Uncle Vartan been thinking? "No," she said, "I won't give it to you." Violet was mad. She ran to tell on Mabel. Their mother sent Mabel to her room. Mabel had to stay there until she was ready to share the book with her grubby little sister. That would be never, or at least until lunchtime. Mabel took out a piece of paper and drew a neat line exactly down the middle. Then she began to write, "Mabel facts and Violet facts." I'll show you what it looks like right there. She wrote some things about Mabel and Violet. These are the Mabel facts. 8 years old, starting 3rd grade, neat, combed, straight hair, round face, dark eyes, flossed, brushed teeth, very organized, never forgets chores. These are the Violet facts. 5 years old, starting kindergarten, tangled, snarly hair, jam-smeared face. What's a toothbrush? A total slob. What are chores? Graphs, charts, and lists always calmed Mabel down. They reminded her of the way things were supposed to be, predictable and organized. Mabel liked results that she could see. If only her little sister was as neat and orderly as a chart or a graph. Mabel wished Violet was much more like her. Chapter 2. These chapters don't have titles. They just have the listing. And this will be the last chapter that I'm able to read. That afternoon, Mabel's friend Simone came over. Simone was tall. She had long black hair, which she wore braided around her head. Simone wore pointy blue glasses. She had a wide smile and some slightly crooked teeth. Are you excited about kindergarten? Simone asked Violet. Violet nodded. You're going to love it, Simone said. My favorite part was reading. Reading. Violet suddenly looked nervous. She didn't know how to do that yet. Mabel changed the subject. Does anyone want to make necklaces? She asked. Simone crouched down to Violet's level. Don't worry, she said. You'll do fine, Violet. Who's your teacher? Mr. Bland, Violet whispered. Beads, anyone? Mabel repeated. Mr. Bland is so nice, Simone said. He never yells or anything like that. Violet breathed a sigh of relief. I'm getting out the beads, Mabel said. She brought her special bead box out to the dining room. She had organized the beads by size and color and shape. All the colors of the rainbow, from blue-green to yellow-orange, sparkled in their drawers. Mabel didn't usually let anyone else touch them. She was very proud of herself for sharing. The girls sat down. Mabel gave everyone a cord and a small container for their beads. Outside, the sun was shining. It lit up the beads on the dining room table. Isn't this fun? Mabel asked, picking up a blue bead. I love to bead. I can't think of anything better to do on a warm, sunny, beautiful summer day, said Simone, stifling a yawn. Me neither, Mabel said. Simone began to sort through the beads. You don't have enough square red ones, she said. I want to make a necklace with them. Do we have to do this? Violet said. Mabel frowned. Don't you want to wear your very own handmade, unique necklace on the first day of school? Not really, Violet said. Not even one with all your favorite colors? Mabel continued. No. Violet pushed back her chair and stood up. I want to play in the backyard. I'm going to run under the sprinkler. Mabel looked at Simone. Her friend jumped to her feet to help out. But Simone didn't say, please stay with us, Violet. Instead, she said, I'll turn on the sprinkler for you. Mabel couldn't believe it. Do you want to come outside with us, Mabel? Simone asked. Mabel picked up a gold bead. I think I'll finish my necklace first. I don't mind, Mabel told herself. I don't mind sitting here all alone. She didn't mind hearing shrieks of laughter from the backyard. She didn't mind that Simone had gone off with her little sister. Beading was her very favorite activity. She was going to make a necklace to wear on the first day of school. Her new teacher would be so impressed to learn that she had made it all by herself. Mabel glanced out the window. The sun was shining. The sky was blue. It was hot and breezy outside. And school wasn't starting for 5 more days. She could finish the necklace any time before then. She could even make a matching bracelet. There was plenty of time, but there might not be time to run under the sprinkler again. Mabel had to admit that Violet sometimes had good ideas, and sometimes she just had to go along with them. Mabel put away the beads and her unfinished necklace, then hurried upstairs to change into a bathing suit. When she came out of the house, the sprinkler was casting jets of water over Violet and Simone, and they were drenched and laughing. "I'm here," Mabel yelled. She ran to join them. And that is as far as I will read about Sister Magic. But what I will tell you, the magic part of the title, there's some magic in this book, and you'll have to read it and find out what it is. I want to thank you for coming and listening to this story this morning. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you want to go check it out at the library. It's a lot of fun. Bye.